Hello and welcome to Holloway's Park for today's FA Cup replay in the first qualifying round against Beaconsfield Town. We are here just over 48 hours after the Swans drew in, well, probably what I can call an entertaining game at the Elmbridge XL Sports Hub, in which Beaconsfield Town forced a last-minute equaliser to take it to a replay. Looking forward to this one tonight, Stefan.
Yeah, 100% Tej. I think it should be interesting to see how both teams bounce back from obviously such a quick turnaround. But obviously, Swans still going strong in the FA Cup, so day by day, game by game, the hopes do keep getting higher and higher.
Yeah. And the players are out on the pitch now lining up, so I think it is time to get into the team lineups for today. There's only one change for the Swans today, with Harry Mills coming back from a 2-week absence to join the lineup. Liam Allen retains his place in goal. Fulham loanee Devin Tanton is in the lineup. Dominic Hogan takes the left-back spot. Charlie Nicholas and Joe Hicks are the other two centre-backs. Alex Kelly still in midfield despite his red card. That takes 7 days to come into force. Harry Mills and Jordan Adiemi are on the wings, with Torin Roberts also in midfield. Max Blackmore up front and John Gilbert as a number 10. And on the bench for the Swans today are Sanush Kai, Reece Brewster, Ollie Tom, Flynn Bolton, Joe Pratley-Jones and Jude Malloy. On to the Beaconsfield lineup for today. I don't think there are a huge deal of changes for them either. Raven Constable starts in goal. Jerome Eccleston, Oliver Sprague, Liam McNevitt, Mark Nesbitt, Sam Togwell, Aaron Minas, their captain, Sean Fraser, Nathan Minas, Dan Bradshaw and Kyle Reid. And on the bench for Beaconsfield today, it's Adam Martin, Scott Donnelly, Sean McCauley, Luke Neville, Oliver McCoy, Kane Connor and Jack McKenzie. Once again, Stefan, a very strong lineup from the Swans.
Yeah, I don't think any surprises there in terms of the similarities between obviously the Swans lineup 2 days ago, because obviously a lot of success from the Swan side. What surprised me the most is probably the similarities in the Beaconsfield lineup, considering I would say the Swans got the better of them in terms of the majority of the game. So it should be interesting to see how it plays out, even with the minimal changes. And as I said, I think the main thing for both teams will be how they recover from just playing 90 minutes 2 days ago.
Yeah, that is, I think, the main challenge for both sides today is the very, very quick turnaround, 48 hours just over between the two games. And these aren't, mid-table clashes. This is a very, very important FA Cup tie, with the winner of this home to Chatham Town in the next round. So a lot at stake for both sides. I do suspect there will be a few tired legs amongst the ranks of both teams, but no doubt both teams will be giving it their absolute all today.
And it looks like we're about to just kick off now, under the bright lights here. Almost that time.
It will be Beaconsfield getting us underway here at Holloway's Park. It is currently 7:44 local time here.
Anticipation.
With a place in the second qualifying round at stake for both sides.
Surprisingly good turnout today as well.
Yeah, I mean, for 2 days' notice, I think there still must be a good 200 or so people. I'm sure people will still be flooding through the turnstiles over the next 5 to 10 minutes as well.
Yeah.
And we are underway here at Holloway's Park. Beaconsfield get us underway, kicking from right to left, and it's an attempted long ball that Joe Hicks wins, but Beaconsfield will have an early chance to shoot, but it's blocked, and Beaconsfield retain possession.
Unable to keep the ball alive there.
Runs out for a goal kick. Liam Allen once again in net for the Swans today. He started all 9 of the Swans games and the vast majority of the games last season. He still very much is the Swans' number 1. Charlie Nicholas there, the loanee brought in from Bromley just a week and a half ago. Certainly a welcome addition to the Swans' defence. It's back with Charlie now, who plays it forward to Torin Roberts. It's Devin Tanton now, the Fulham loanee, looking to play a ball forward, and John Gilbert is making a run down the right channel. But it's won by Beaconsfield. It's kept in forward to Max Blackmore. It's been a really scrappy opening 60 seconds, I think, neither side.
I think the player to watch here will be Devin, obviously having his debut last week for the Swans. What did you make of him last week, Tej?
I think he was very lively. Well, not even last week, just 2 days ago. It's a quick throw by Devin Tanton there, but cut out by Liam McNevitt, the Beaconsfield defender, and out for a throw-in on this near side here. I think he was very lively, Stefan. I mean, for his first game in senior football, I think he has to get some credit to step into an FA Cup game at the age of 18, having never played a game of men's football. Is never the easiest task, despite the fact he has played pretty high-level football for the Fulham under-18s and 23s and the US under-20s as well. But a very, very exciting prospect, I think we can say, and hopefully looking forward to more of his bombing runs down that right-hand side today.
Yeah, I mean, you take a quick look at him and instantly you notice the quality that he brings to the squad. So it should be interesting to see again as a young player himself how he's managed to recover off that game 2 days ago.
He did recover very quickly there to get back, significantly faster than Carl Reid, the Beaconsfield number 11. That's a crossfield ball that drifts out of play from Beaconsfield there. I think that's what the Swans will look to try and do this game. It is our favoured AstroTurf surface. It's a very, very nice AstroTurf surface as well. It was only laid about this time last year, kept in pristine condition. They didn't even let us on with trainers onto the pitch. Only the correct footwear, boots allowed on here. So a really nice surface for the boys to play on this evening, and hopefully they'll be able to turn that into some strong patterns of possession and build-up play throughout the course of the evening.
100%.
Harry Mills back in the lineup as well after a 2-week absence. A very welcome addition to the Swans lineup today. He brings a lot to this team, particularly going forward. That ball out there to Jordan Adeyemi. Torin Roberts now plays it to Dom Hogan.
Swans looking to keep the ball alive here, keep the attack alive.
Torin tries to play it forward, but it's nearly cut out.
And it's good to see Harry Mills back in the lineup, Tej.
Yeah. As I said, a very welcome addition to the lineup. He really does bring a lot to the Swans, and maybe we didn't feel his absence a huge amount over the last few weeks, but he's certainly going to be a big presence on the pitch tonight, I would hope.
I think there were a couple moments in that first play where you would wonder if we had Harry Mills, would that game have gone slightly differently?
Yeah, particularly when it comes to the set pieces. We know just how dangerous Harry Mills is from set pieces.
Clinical.
Penalty king, free kick expert as well, and if the Swans can get some dangerous territory tonight, I would like to come close, not get a goal today. The Swans well inside Beaconsfield territory now. It's a crossfield ball to John Gilbert, who's going to look to get into the box, and he puts a low ball in, but it's cleared out by Beaconsfield, and they'll keep it in on this near side, but it's a Swans throw-in. Now, for those wondering why Alex Kelly is in the starting lineup today, red cards do take around 7 days to process in non-league, so you can play for up to the next 7 days after a red card before the ban kicks in. So as it stands, it was a violent conduct charge for Alex Kelly, and he will be missing the games against Leatherheads this weekend in the FA Trophy, the following weekend against either South Park or Chatham Town, depending on today's result, and the Tuesday after that on the 20th at home to Northwood. So a big miss for the Swans, I think, Stefan.
100%. I mean, Alex Kelly over the past couple of seasons has just been instrumental to the Swan success. Again, he's one of those players where take a quick look at him and you can instantly recognise the level of quality that he brings to the team.
He's such a lively presence in that Swans midfield, such a nimble and agile footballer, always gliding around the midfield. And he's been one of our players that's been here since the start of our journey under Scott Harris and Billy Rowley in Step 6. He's been part of the back-to-back promotions over the last 2 seasons. Quite a few numbers in the Swans ranks that have been part of those back-to-back promotions. Joe Hicks in defence here. Harry Mills being one of those. Dominic Hogan at left-back. Max Hustwick was here, but he unfortunately decided to hang his boots up just a few weeks ago. Yeah. But still very much the core of this team. Still in the Swans ranks for the FA Cup today.
And I think that speaks to the management's vision as well. When you see them holding on to some key players, it really paints a picture about what style of football they're trying to play. And it's been consistent over the past couple of seasons. So
lovely ball from John Gilbert out to Harry Mills, and the Swans could work something here. Harry Mills finds Devon Tanton. Swans playing it around in the Beaconsfield third. Not looking to give the ball away here and just opting to keep it really before hopefully developing an attack going forward.
Oh, lovely turn there.
Well played. Dominic Hogan still in possession. He puts the ball in, but there's no one in the box, and it floats harmlessly into the hands of Raven Constable in the Beaconsfield net. I think the first goal in this game will be crucial, Stefan. I think we've seen that, particularly if it does come for the Swans, I do think they will really look to hold the ball as much as they can. We know how dangerous Beaconsfield can be even out of possession, that one long ball or one counter-attack and they can be level, and that's almost what they did twice on Saturday for 2 equalisers. Beaconsfield certainly do pose a threat, especially with long balls like this. Devon Tanton first to it, and he,
like we said, lively player, quick to react there. Out for a throw-in for Beaconsfield.
As I said, that's one thing that Devon Tanton does have, is that pace in abundance. He is a very, very quick fullback, and he can get up and down the channel at lightning pace. And although we do have some very quick wingers, not only in our league, but amongst other teams that we've played, he is certainly up there in terms of pace. Jerome Eccleston is with the ball for Beaconsfield now and may look to put a long throw in, which he does. It's towards the penalty spot, headed out by Joe Hicks there. Jerome Eccleston puts it in again. It's a dangerous ball. This could be a chance for Beaconsfield, but Joe Hicks once again reading the danger well and gets it clear. Pumped forward by Sean Fraser, but the ball out of play there on the far side.
And Joe Hicks consistently, very dominant presence in the air, extremely physical player, and obviously he's been there, he's done that. Yeah. So when it comes to reading play as well, and we have Jordan Adeyemi here on the wing, building up the attack for the Swans.
Jordan puts the ball in, but it's cut out by Mark Nesbitt. Beaconsfield looking to operate a bit of a press here. They know that the Swans are dangerous when given time to build out from the back, and Liam Allen simply opts to pump it long. It's won by Harry Mills. It's a very good header indeed, and it's with John Gilbert, and it's a through ball, but the flag goes up on the far side, and it was well out of the reach of Harry Mills in the end anyway. But a nice looking move there from the Swans. A well won header by Harry Mills into the path of John Gilbert, and maybe the Swans could have perhaps worked something a little better there.
Yeah, Harry Mills did well there to get his head onto that ball, but unfortunately, as we saw, line was called.
Kyle Reid now in possession for Beaconsfield. Dominic Hogan wins, and it's a loose ball back, but Liam Allen would just about get to it and gathers up the ball. And the Swans once again looking to build out from the back. Charlie Nicholas now in possession for the Swans. Torin Roberts was making a run. He is offside, I do think.
Yeah, he noticed that himself.
I think if the ball had come earlier from Charlie Nicholas there, Torin Roberts could have been through. He spotted a gap behind the defence there and decided to make a darting run forward. But
holding quite a high line, the Beaconsfield side here.
Yeah, and I think they're looking to press up a bit and really not let the Swans dominate possession at the back or in midfield. They are operating a high press, as we can see between the two front men. And as everyone knows, the importance of really shutting down the Swans, building out from the back at all costs. Kyle Reid puts a ball in here, cut out by Charlie Nicholas. The Swans can't get it clear though. Still with Beaconsfield Town. Ball in again, cut out by the Swans, and it will be a Beaconsfield Town throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, as you said, Tej, looking to really apply that pressure here, Beaconsfield. Seems to be putting the Swans under a bit of uneasy circumstances. I think we saw that with Alex Kelly's backwards header with the loose ball straight into our own box.
I think these throw-ins, particularly these long throws, could be a dangerous point for the Swans. It's a foul given in favour of Walton and Hersham. Swans have conceded a few times from set pieces, and especially those balls into the box, they will need to be very wary. I think that's one thing that we were undone by last year in the replay against Beaconsfield Town, was those corners swung into the box, and I think there was a free kick in there as well, and it's something we do need to be careful of and wary of in today's game. The Beaconsfield secretary has rather kindly handed out some team sheets for us just now.
And here come the Swans. Another wide ball over to Harry Mills. Controls it with the shoulder, nothing given.
Harry Mills puts a good ball in, and Torin Roberts is there. And it was the first real opening of the game It was an open header really for Torin Roberts. He couldn't quite get the angle on it, and it sailed harmlessly over the bar, but it was a very good opening there for the Swans, Stefan.
And as you said, Tej, about Devon, he gets up the pitch rather very quickly, and we saw that linking up with play there with Harry Mills. Unfortunately, no product in the end.
Got one, Paul. Good.
Beaconsfield have it and will look to play it forward now, but it's
Ball
out
out
of
forward
play and into the small terrace to our left-hand side here. Just over 11 minutes, 12 minutes into the game now, and neither side really able to establish a clear pattern of possession. It's one thing the Swans certainly will be looking to do, is just hold the ball as much as they can and build out from the back those patterns of possession. And players from midfield, Devon Tanton takes the throw in.
And again, looking to build out from the back. As we talked about, that style of play that Scott Harris and Billy Rowley are looking to establish. Here comes Jordan Adeyemi.
Attempted through ball forwards by John Gilbert there, but it rolls out for a goal kick. I think the Swans really need to look to attack the flanks tonight. We have a lot of pace in abundance really on each flank. Jordan Adeyemi down the left is probably one of the fastest players in step four, I would think. The pace of Devon Tanton from right back, and Harry Mills also operating down the right flank. I do think if the Swans can get a bit of space on the flanks and look to get a ball in, they have some very dangerous players that will be looking to get into the box, particularly in Max Blackmore, the number 9, who has already got 4 goals to his name in this year's edition of the Emirates FA Cup. No Eddie Simon in the lineup today for the Swans. He does miss out through unavailability. But nonetheless, 2 very capable front men in Jordan Adeyemi and Max Blackmore in the Swans ranks.
Yeah. And as you talked about, Tej, that sort of pace out on the wings, I think in the later minutes of the game, I think we'll probably see Ollie Twum come on as an injection of some fresh legs with definitely some pace down the wings.
I think that's what the Swans have, is a different proposition on the bench. It's a long throw in, again, won and put out for a corner by Harry Mills. I think this is certainly the way Beaconsfield Town are going to look to score their goals tonight, is through set pieces. That is where the Swans have shown weaknesses on occasions this season. And Beaconsfield Town know that if they are going to get a goal early, it will most likely come through a set piece. There's quite a few men forward in the box for Beaconsfield Town. It's a good ball swung in.
Alex Kelly in the air.
Alex Kelly up there, and it's
Either they're still on the attack.
Chance for Beaconsfield Town there. Their captain went down in the box there, Aaron Munoz, and the resulting chance well wide of Liam Allen's right-hand post.
Fortunately, pass gone just wide there, losing possession.
Beaconsfield Town now themselves looking to build out from the back. But it's lost and won by Jordan Adeyemi, but he can't retain possession of the ball. Here comes the
Swans applying pressure.
It's been a very even start so far after the opening exchanges here. 15 minutes gone at Holloway's Park, and neither side really with a clear foothold in the game. The Swans did have that chance not too long ago, a header from Torin Roberts that sailed over the bar. Beaconsfield Town with a few long throws of their own, but no real chances of genuine quality that have been created from either side.
It's been quite scrappy in that final third, I think. So until a team is able to sort of make something a bit more clear, I think we'll sort of stick at this stalemate point.
I think both sides are slightly reluctant to commit to attacking too early in the game. They know the importance of an early goal for either side, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the game stay in the balance for at least the next 15-20 minutes or so. In the meanwhile, Stefan, I'm sure many people have now noticed our new sponsor, Hagley West, the the watch company that if people are on TikTok they may have heard about, and our new shirts that we're currently wearing today that are sponsored by the amazing Hagley West and Tim Hayden, who's the owner of Hagley West.
Beautiful shirts, if I may say so
They
myself.
are amazing shirts. I'm wearing the away one myself right now. The home kit is a bit more of a retro one, a nice combination with the white on the cuffs and the neck as well. And these will be on sale hopefully within the next few weeks. We will be selling them again through Classic Football Shirts. Yeah, I think hopefully by the end of the month people can expect that they will be available to buy worldwide shipping as well. So stay tuned to our Instagram and Twitter accounts for more information on that. That's where we do update our fans regularly, and if you're not following there, be sure to follow. And we hopefully look forward to seeing some of you wearing these lovely Swans tops this season. In fact, our sponsor Tim Hayden from Hagley West is currently in New York at the moment, along with George Corey, one of the other boys today, one of the other
Swans going
of the
international.
both of them today in New York wearing the away blue Swans top. And Tim's son George, not George Corey but George Hayden rather, was on Brooklyn Bridge wearing this lovely away kit today, and did manage to get a few videos and pictures of it. And George Corey was in front of the Statue of Liberty, I heard today, wearing the Swans kit as well. So the Swans are already going global, even though the shirts aren't quite on sale yet. But very much looking forward to having those on sale again. We did sell quite a few last year and hoping to sell a whole lot more this year as well to every corner of the globe, which is something we do take a lot of pride in, is how far and wide our brand has reached. And we can only thank the interest that people have had and taken in our story. And well, it's a chance for Beaconsfield here, and it bounces in the box, and the Swans just about get it clear.
Again, this game just showing to be extremely scrappy in that final third.
Yeah, and it was a set piece forward that nearly undid the Swans. It's a chance for Beaconsfield Town, but it's cleared by Devon Tanton there. And Jordan Adiemi will pick it up on the left. Alarm bells ringing there, really. The Swans unable to really get the ball out of the box that easily. But they just about see away the danger. And they're back in possession now, looking to launch an attack.
And here come the Swans.
Harry Mills looking to play a ball forward, but cut out by Liam McDevitt.
Here we see Swans have played quite heavily on this right side. I think utilising obviously Harry Mills, who is fresh compared to the other players who played just 2 days ago, and obviously Devon being a young player himself, recovery no issue for him whatsoever.
I wouldn't say no issue, but he's one of those younger sets of legs that certainly can handle the higher demands of playing twice in 3 days, as opposed to some of the older legs perhaps in the ranks of both the Swans and Beaconsfield Town. It's given away there by Charlie Nicholas, and Beaconsfield Town will look to launch a counter-attack. But it's given away, and Torin Roberts picks it up. That was very sloppy from Beaconsfield Town, as they did have men forward breaking that could have potentially been on the end of a long ball there.
And Swans with a lot of men forward here.
Torin Roberts tries to play it through to Dom Hogan, and Dom will keep it in, and he wins a throw-in in the end. It's gone out just over the corner flag there. No foul given, the Swans stay in possession. And John Gilbert now with the ball over the top. Alex Kelly running through. But he can't quite find Max Blackmore, and it's cleared by Jerome Eccleston for Beaconsfield Town there. As we said earlier, pretty good turnout tonight at Holloway's Park here. I think there must be about at least 200 or so people that have made the trip to Beaconsfield, whether they live here or I think there are about 20, 25 Swans fans, maybe more here today as well. Always grateful for the support of our travelling fans wherever we go. Some very passionate fans who travel to every single game, home and away, whatever the weather, whatever the team. It's not something you get particularly at this level of non-league as well.
Counter.
Beaconsfield Town playing it forward. Nathan Minas with the ball.
Kelly with a double block here.
Alex Kelly wins it, and the Swans can look to get forward. Max Blackmore is forward, and he's found Alex Kelly, who bursts past.
And the Swans throwing men into the box here.
And Alex Kelly's opposite number, Liam McDevitt, winning the battle there, and Alex Kelly unable to get past him, and it's the Swans throw-in on this near side. Devon Tanton finds Alex Kelly, and it's across to Dom Ogan now, who's operating in that left-back role today.
It's been interesting to see Dom's evolution. Obviously, past season, primarily playing up front as a striker, to now adopting that left-back role, which I think he was originally actually.
It's a good ball through to Devon Tanton, but it runs out for a goal kick at the end. A chance for the Swans, but nothing comes of it. But as you were saying, Stefan, a very versatile player, Dominic Ogan. He operated as a striker last season, has played winger on occasion for us as well, down the right wing quite a lot. And now this season, he stepped into his first game against Littlehampton Town. He was away for the start of the season, but stepped in at left centre-back in a 3 at the back. Not a position he normally operates in, but he was there, and he's played at right wing back in pre-season, and now we see him at left back today.
He's one of those players that you just love to have on your team, right? He's sort of a jack of all trades. He's got the physicality, he's got the pace, he's got good footwork. Anywhere you stick him, he'll sort of find success.
It's a chance for Beaconsfield Town here, and it's just about cut out. It's well played there from Charlie Nicholas, who does well to get the ball clear.
Kelly picks it back up, and here come the Swans. Jordan Adeyemi out on the wing here.
Jordan Adeyemi can get through there. He's got lightning pace, and this could be a chance for the Swans. Jordan gets left and has a shot, and it's cleared away by Liam McDevitt there. Max Blackmore was lurking at the back post, and that could have been a very good opening for the Swans had it not been for the quick thinking of Beaconsfield's number 4, I think there. Yeah. Aaron Minyas, the skipper for Beaconsfield Town today. Their main skipper, Toby Little, came off injured in Saturday's game and is subsequently unavailable for today. I'm sure Alex Kelly will be giving it his absolute all today. He's not available for the next 3 games for the Swans, and he will be looking to spend every single ounce of energy he has in those legs, I'm sure, today.
And Alex Kelly, one of those lively players. We know on Instagram story, always in the gym, so
yeah,
likes to stay healthy. So buzzing around the pitch here, he is.
Jordan Adeyemi back to Dom Ogan, who plays it forward. Devon Tanton forward to John Gilbert, who has a bit of space to work with here. He can look to get a ball in. He's into the box now. It's a lovely exchange there. Devon Tanton unable to keep it in, and it rolls out for a goal kick there. I think it's fair to say this hasn't been the liveliest of starts here at Holloway's Park, Stefan. I think, as I mentioned, both sides reluctant to commit too much to attacking. Both sides very dangerous on the counter-attack, and knowing the importance of what a first goal could be for either side and what's at stake, a home tie in the next round against Chatham Town, who will no doubt send dozens, if not a couple of hundred of their fans down. A huge club, Chatham Town, and I've no doubt perhaps their fans or manager will be tuning into this game today. If they're not at the ground, I'm sure they'll be watching it on the live stream. But a lot at stake. The Swans haven't reached the second qualifying round of the FA Cup since 2009. It's been a 13-year break away from that, but I think it's fair to say this is the best opportunity to date they've had. Obviously, last year we did come close against Beaconsfield Town. It was 2-2 after 65 minutes when Reece Brewster was dismissed for the denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity in the box. And Aaron Donnelly put away a penalty for Beaconsfield Town, and they went on to win 5-2 on the day and played Havant and Waterlooville at home in the next round. Well, not at home. I think it was reversed in the end to Havant and Waterloo's ground as Holloway's Park was being redone.
I think look for one of these big throw-ins again here.
It is a big ball in.
Cleared out for a corner.
Harry Mills did get the final touch, says referee Derek Lang. And Beaconsfield Town will look to swing a ball in here. As I said, this hasn't been quite the fastest of starts, but if Beaconsfield can keep generating as many throw-ins and corners as they have done so far, I think they will get a good chance coming very soon. Very well claimed by Liam Allen there. It was a testing ball in that nearly went over his head, but he read that well to get both hands around the ball and claim it before it could drop onto the head of any Swans or Beaconsfield Town player. Devon Tanton is making a run down the right, but Harry Mills opts to keep the ball instead and play it out left. And he's found Dominic Ogan, who has John Gilbert inside. He opts to go outside instead, but it's well played by Jerome Eccleston. John Gilbert not happy that Dom didn't pick him out.
Yeah, plenty of space there for Gilbert. Disappointed he didn't get the ball at his feet there.
As I've said, I think the first goal could really be crucial today. Both sides have looked much sharper defensively thus far. And you would think the first goal could be a huge foothold in the game. It's a ball across, won by Oliver Sprague at the back post.
Devon Tanton looking to apply some pressure here.
And that's lumped high over this near stand.
Almost on our tedge, on our head's tedge.
Over the gantry and halfway to the M40.
Joe Pratley-Jones on the bench, so we won't be seeing any absolute cannonball throws here from the Swans, I imagine.
Yeah.
Looking to build up the play a bit more slowly.
Yeah, the Swans missing that long throw presence of Joe Pratley-Jones, who typically does play that right back or right centre back role. It's a ball in from Devon Tanton, but straight into the hands of Raven Constable. Devon Tanton will almost certainly be our starting man for as long as he's with us. His initial loan period does go until January the 3rd, but Fulham obviously do have the right of recall if they wish to take him back. It's a lovely ball through, and Minyas is in here, and Liam Allen just about gets to it before Minyas can get a touch.
Yeah, some great timing there by Liam Allen. Able to kill the ball.
Not the only Minyas on the pitch. There's a pair of them, the brothers. Aaron, the captain for today, number 7, and Nathan, the number 9, who was nearly on the end of that ball there. And both of them actually got a goal on Saturday. John Gilbert does very well to win there, but he lets it run out, not knowing that the throw-in would be awarded to Beaconsfield Town, and it's played forward to Aaron Minyas now. This could be a chance for Beaconsfield, and it's a good attempt on goal. The referee says it took a deflection, and Beaconsfield Town have a corner here. I think it was that Jerome Eccleston? Was that the was that Carl Reid? I couldn't quite see there. But a good chance nonetheless for Beaconsfield Town. And another one of those corners that they will be looking to swing in deep.
Like I said, it's one of these scrappy exchanges is all it takes for the game to flip on its head. So I think Beaconsfield will be looking to capitalise on this corner right here.
It's a deep ball in, and it's over the heads of everyone, and it goes towards the back post. Just about won by the Swans. No foul on Jordan Adiemi there, and he opts to shove over Aaron Minyas there rather foolishly. I think he will be lucky to avoid a booking here. It was a pretty foolish thing to do, shove the opposition player off the ball. He was held back a bit there from breaking away, but I don't think it was enough to constitute a foul.
Referee seems to have left it off with just a warning there. Easily could have gone into the book there.
Yeah, I think Jordan can consider himself very lucky not to have gone in the book there. 9 times out of 10, you do see the yellow card brandished in those situations.
Beaconsfield piling men into the
Oliver
box
Sprague
here.
sends it deep, and it's won by Beaconsfield, but cleared by Charlie Nicholas before it can become of any real danger to the Swans. Beaconsfield Town certainly looking the more threatening of the two sides thus far. A lot of set pieces, and it'll be another one of those long throws from Jerome Eccleston. Look to target the penalty spot. It's a looping throw. Doesn't quite find any Beaconsfield Town player in particular. "33 minutes into the game so far. Not the liveliest of halves, but if Beaconsfield Town keep up their onslaught of set pieces, both those corners and throw-ins, they could come close soon. It's a cross there that ripples the top of Liam Allen's net. I think the Swans will have to start being a little sharper in this game, particularly in possession, if they want to create something here, because Beaconsfield Town, although they haven't come particularly close thus far, are starting to knock on the door, Stefan.
Yeah, just over 30 minutes gone here, Tej. Still in that stalemate position we were talking about 15 minutes ago. I think ideally either team would love to go into the changing rooms with the upper hand here, but a scrappy exchange so far.
Yeah, and this is a replay tonight, so if it does end level after 90 minutes, it will go to extra time and potentially penalties if needed. And the Swans have only had one penalty shootout under new management, and that was away to Guildford City in the 4th round of the FA Vase in April of 2020. That game behind closed doors, we were of course there. It's a chance for the Swans here. Torin Roberts finds Max Blackmore, but the flag goes up and Max flashes it wide nonetheless. That was a great chance if Torin played the ball earlier, because Max Blackmore was completely free. He had found space, a pocket of space between the two Beaconsfield centre halves, and had that ball been played a touch earlier, you might have seen that go 1-0, Stefan.
Yeah. The Swans passing play there, opening up some nice space for both Torin and Max Blackmore. Unable to capitalise.
It's a long ball forwards. Looking for Kyle Reid, the Beaconsfield Town number 11. Swans stay in possession. Torin Roberts nearly dispossessed.
Devon quick off the mark there to regain possession for the Swans.
Yeah, Beaconsfield doing very well with that high press, it has to be said. No doubt some tired legs on the pitch with the quick turnaround, but I know the importance of pressing the Swans' defence. Harry Mills has gone down there. No foul given. The referee tells Harry Mills to get back up to his feet. Swans happy to stay in possession, I would imagine. It has been a sustained period of Beaconsfield pressure with those corners and throw-ins until this point, but I think the Swans will be happy to take the sting out of Beaconsfield's spell of chances. Long ball forward, Charlie Nicholas wins it for the Swans and opts to hoof it long.
Torin unable to maintain possession there off that touch. Joe Hicks commits.
Carl Reid doing very well there to stay in possession. Beats two Swans players, and it's a ball to the edge of the box. It was a chance for Dan Bradshaw, the number 10 for Beaconsfield Town, but he can't quite get his feet in order, and it rolls out towards that corner flag. That was a good opening for Beaconsfield Town there. It's a chance here for Beaconsfield Town, and another chance goes wide.
Scrappy, scrappy, scrappy. Very scrappy game.
Yep, scrappy on the Swans' part there for sure. Unable to get the ball away, and Beaconsfield Town with a number of chances there to get a clear-cut opportunity away. The first one for Dan Bradshaw, who got his feet muddled up on the edge of the box. The second for their number 7, I believe, Aaron Minyas, and the third where nothing came of it either.
Harry Mills with plenty of space out here on the right wing. Plays that ball through. John Gilbert unable to get on the end of it.
Not a huge deal of time remaining in the first half. 8 minutes plus stoppage time, and I can't imagine there will be much stoppage time, if any at all. And no doubt Beaconsfield Town, who have had, I would say, the upper hand this half, will be looking to get a goal before the break.
And the Swans looking to slow down the pace here, as you said, Tej. Happy to stay in this passing play.
Harry Mills is dispossessed, but the ball falls straight into the path of Alex Kelly, who plays it out to Dominic Ogan. Jordan Adiemi trods on the ball. And the Swans have a throw-in on the far side. I think for all the quality the Swans had in the first half on Saturday, I think most who have watched the Swans over the last 3 years would agree it was one of the best first halves we've had under new management. It's a long ball out to Devon Tanton, who has a lot of space and time here to get a ball in. Max Blackmore is in the box, but the ball is blocked and out for a corner. The first Swans corner of the game, Stefan.
Yeah, and this is one of those chances that you don't really want to squander.
John Gilbert is across to take, who does take the majority of corners for the Swans.
Joe Hicks on the edge of the box look to make a run here.
It's a ball in and it floats over the men at the near post, picked up by a Beaconsfield defender and cleared, but the Swans back in possession. It's a foul there by Beaconsfield Town skipper Aaron Minyas on John Gilbert, and the Swans have a free kick midway into Beaconsfield territory. A chance to get a ball to the back post, I would imagine. The towering presence of Max Blackmore in there, Joe Hicks and Charlie Nicholas, the centre halves as well. The Swans take it quickly. John Gilbert might have a strike here, and it's a tame one with his weaker foot that rolls straight into the grateful clutches of Raven Constable. We have seen John Gilbert score quite a few times from outside the box, not only this season but in the FA Cup. It was a goal from long range against Kennington FC in the extra preliminary round. The ball just knocking the phone out of one of the spectators' hands here as it went out for a throw-in. John Gilbert also scoring an absolute corker of a goal.
Kyle
30
Reid
yards
with a very long ball
against Littlehampton Town, and no doubt he will be looking to put his long-range shooting prowess to the test tonight again, as we saw there, but not the effort that he perhaps would have wanted.
And the second half will be very telling in terms of which team has been able to recover slightly faster from that quick turnaround.
Yeah, I don't think manager Scott Harris will be too happy with the Swans' performance in this half.
Here comes another big throw.
Once again over the heads of everyone, and the Swans clear.
Intercepted by Jordan
And
Adiemi.
Jordan Adiemi has got a lot of pace here. He's going to look to stretch them down the left-hand side, and he gets past his man, was perhaps impeded there. But Beaconsfield Town keeper Raven Constable is out to it first and puts it straight into touch. Beaconsfield Town, I think, have the throw-in. They do indeed. It came off a Swans player there. It was well mopped up by Raven Constable. Sent straight out of touch by Charlie Nicholas, the loanee from Bromley. Two professional defenders in our ranks at the moment, both Charlie Nicholas and Devon Tanton. Charlie is only here on an initial 1 month period, but that can potentially be extended depending on how he fares in this month period. And as I mentioned earlier, Devon Tanton here till January, but Fulham do have the right of recall if they wish to have him back any earlier than that.
Well, I think with the absence of Max Huswick now hanging up his boots.
It's a chance of Beaconsfield Town, the ball drops. Joe Hicks clears.
But with the absence of Max Huswick now, obviously a bit more defensive talent and strength is required here. So
Kyle Reid teasing down this left-hand side, and it's with Oliver Sprague now who swings a ball in. It doesn't beat Alex Kelly, who heads the ball away, and it's Jordan Adiemi down that left flank who's got a lot of pace to burn, but he opts to come inside instead, and the Swans will look to launch an attack down the right-hand side now. Or rather just stay in possession.
long ball to John Gilbert here.
John can look to drive in. This is a similar position to where he scored against Kennington, and he has a shot, and it just flashes wide of the far post there. That was a brilliant opening for John Gilbert. It was nearly a carbon copy of his attempt against Kennington FC, where he drove in from that left-hand side, just about cut into a box and whipped a shot towards that far post. But fortunately for Beaconsfield Town, it sails just wide of that post. But I think that was a very good chance for the Swans there, Stefan.
As you said, extremely, extremely dangerous from range. So they need to really keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, looking to put that long-range talent, the long-range shooting ability into action here. It's a set piece and a now for Beaconsfield Town, who will look to get a ball deep into the box. Not a time this half. Just over 2 minutes to go here at Holloway's Park. There's a ball. Alex Kelly as the first man to win the header. And there again to cut the ball up, but it is a Beaconsfield Town throw-in, and no surprises for guessing what happens here, Stefan.
Time and time again. But seems to lead to some scrappy exchanges right by Liam Allen's feet, so no need to deviate from what seems to be working.
Another long throw-in. Charlie Nicholas misses it, and it's an attempt goal-bound that Liam Allen reads well and claims. Just over 60 seconds plus added time to go here in the first half. As I said, I don't imagine there will be much added time, if any at all. And certainly work to be done in the second half for both sides. I think Beaconsfield Town need to diversify away a bit from their strategy of simply looping the ball into the box from long throws and those corners if they are to generate a real opening, but also the Swans will certainly need to be sharper in the second half. They'll need to be much more penetrative with their passing between the lines and look to play balls into Max Blackmore, that dangerous presence in the box, look to take more shots from outside the box, look to get balls into the box as well, because they haven't been at their creative best tonight. Chance in, and it finds Minyas at the back post, who can't quite get there before the ball drops to him. It's Oliver Sprague now who can put the ball in. It's a loose ball, and that was a challenge away, but it's half time here, no added time in the end. Right on cue, 45 minutes, and that is the end of the first half here at Holloway's Park. Not the most inspiring half of football, Stefan, but hopefully we'll see a more lively and action-filled second half here in 15 minutes' time.
As we said, the second half will be instrumental for both teams, and it will really display which team was able to get that slight edge in terms of recovery, and should be an exciting one.
Yeah.
And in the last leg, the second half did tell all. Very explosive second half. So obviously with that final goal in the final minute. So
yeah, we are going to head in for a drink or two, and we will see you in about 13, 14 minutes time or so. Just about ready to kick off, and we are underway for the second half here at Holloway's Park. The Swans kicking off, going from right to left in that blue kit you can see we are wearing, that new blue kit sponsored by Hagley West. And
early chance here from the Swans.
Swans will be looking to be a lot sharper in this half. Devon Tanton keeps it in and floats the ball in. It's won by Beaconsfield Town, and they will look to go forward. It's a long ball in search of Minyas there. It's a chance for Beaconsfield Town. Minyas cutting in, but his effort is well cut out by Joe Hicks there, who sprays the ball out to Torin Roberts. Lovely bit of play from Joe Hicks there. Jordan Adiemi now on this near side. Wins the throw-in off Jerome Eccleston. It wasn't the best first half from the Swans, Stefan, and no doubt Scott Harris would have been giving stern instructions to them. Look to be more penetrative, break the lines, be more creative, more lively. I think it is clear to see that the fatigue is perhaps showing.
Yeah, I think especially when you compare it to the first leg, Swans haven't looked as sharp. Again, usually it's quite clinical when it comes to the passing play of the Swans. I'm not
sure if that was
an error from
a goal-bound effort or
yeah, usually a lot more composed, a lot more clinical, and it's been quite scrappy this half, this first half. So be interesting to see what kind of pep talk Scott Harris gave it in the locker room.
Hopefully it was a pep talk of that ilk, perhaps. It's a long ball through to Harry Mills, but a foul given on the far side. Already a slightly livelier start to the second half. And the Swans will have to be on much better form if they are at the very least to get a goal. Beaconsfield Town certainly looking the more threatening of sides. I think they certainly had the more opportunities generated from their throw-ins and corners. It's a cross in here, and it finds their number 8 there, but it was a great save. It was Sean Fraser who came across, but Liam Allen got in the way to block it brilliantly. But a very good opening for Beaconsfield Town to start the half. Alex Kelly wins it, but it's a ball that's played far too early for Max Blackmore, and now hoofed forward to the Swans back line. Foul given by referee Derek Lang. And the Swans have a chance to slow things down a bit. As I mentioned, if this does end level after 90 minutes, we do go to extra time and potentially penalties if needed. Not straight to penalties, extra time as well. This is the FA Cup. Jordan Adiemi losing out there. Well read by Charlie Nicholas.
just taking an extra 2 seconds too many.
Feel the tension in the air, can't you? You can feel that there is definitely something at stake for both sides. Doesn't have the feel of a regular cup game. The FA Cup games under the lights certainly do hit slightly differently, I would say. The Swans will need to make it count. And Torin Roberts is dispossessed, and Beaconsfield are flying forward here. And it's well defended by the Swans. Minyas was breaking forward there. Beaconsfield will have a throw-in on this near side. The cavalry coming into the box for Beaconsfield Town. 4 of their sturdiest and strongest players around Liam Allen. It's all packed in right around that 6-yard box there, no doubt where they will be targeting from the corner.
Well won
by John Gilbert. He has Jordan Adiemi to his left. Jordan's holding his run.
Slightly too high for...
Jordan was onside, and I think he opted to hold his run instead of bursting forward. I think there was no harm in gambling there. And look, if he was offside, he was offside. But sometimes you can be onside and that flag stays down. So I think he will have to look to just make those runs nonetheless if he does get that opportunity again. Well played by Dom Ogan.
And it can be tricky with Beaconsfield playing this high line, this high defensive line. A few times Jordan caught offside, but this time looks like it was a bit more obscure, as you said, Tej.
It's a corner for Beaconsfield Town again, about their 7th or 8th of the match by my count. Liam Allen comes out but misses it, but it's just about won by the Swans there, but the danger hasn't passed. Beaconsfield Town will have another chance to put it in. Carl Reid driving into the box here. Driving across the box rather, and now back into it. He's up against Swan skipper Joe Hicks and he beats him. It's a ball in. Dominic Hogan gets ahead to it and Alex Kelly sent flying to the turf with a shove in the back there, and the Beaconsfield attack will end with a Swans free kick. As I said, a very palpable, tangible tension in the air here at Holloway's Park. Both sets of fans eerily quiet. It's only about 50 minutes played, but
all it takes is one.
Yeah, one chance for either side could decide the game, you would think. Harry Mills now has Jordan Adiemi. This is a great chance for the Swans if Jordan can work something. He finds Harry Mills. Just about stays in possession, but it's cut out by Beaconsfield Town. The Swans win a throw-in. You know what, Stefan? I think this game reminds me a lot of the Leatherhead game last Monday, on Bank Holiday Monday, that the Swans were second best in the first half. Leatherhead did have quite a few chances to take the lead. And the Swans came out sharper in the second half and they kept knocking on the door, and after 65 minutes it was a moment of brilliance to give us a lead, and I wonder if the Swans can try and replicate that today. So ball goes out of touch here.
Makes you wonder what the changing rooms are like during that half-time when the first half hasn't been as we would have liked.
Yeah, I think the instructions from both sets of managers are just be a bit more direct. For Beaconsfield Town, continue what they're doing. They defended quite well in that first half. They were always probing every time they had a set piece. But for the Swans, certainly just be more penetrative. Look for that final ball. Look for that killer chance. All it takes is one moment, as we've seen so often. And the Swans have players capable of moments of brilliance in abundance.
Harry Mills down the wing.
Millsy puts a ball in, won by Beaconsfield Town and headed out for a throw-in. And those players who can produce moments of brilliance, as I said, are plenty on the Swans field. John Gilbert, Max Blackmore, Torin Roberts, who did it last Monday, away to Leatherhead. Jordan Adiemi, capable of a turn of pace, a real lightning quick player he is when he can get away. Alex Kelly on the pitch today. Harry Mills, if he can get a set piece in and around that box, which Swans haven't really been able to generate so far. Not the most clear-cut opportunities. Obviously, the two main chances in the first half were Torin Roberts' header and John Gilbert's shot from outside the area that just flashed wide of the far post. Nonetheless, the scores are still level. John Gilbert gets ahead there and flicks the ball onto Harry Mills. Jordan Adiemi and Max Blackmore are forward for the Swans. It's loose from John Gilbert. Torin Roberts running well and he's clipped from behind, and it's a Swans free kick. And Beaconsfield Town will look to stifle the quick free kick opportunity, and the Swans will have to slow it down a touch. John Gilbert, who can drive so well at the defence, finds Jordan Adiemi. Not on his favoured left-hand side, but he can drive in and cut in and look to work something. It's a ball through, and Jordan screened well there.
Unable to get his body through.
It was Mark Nisbet for Beaconsfield Town that got the block in there on Jordan Adiemi before he could burst through. Now the Swans have a throw-in on this near side. And I have a feeling, Stefan, it could be a moment of brilliance that unlocks this game from either side, really. Chances have been few and far between thus far. And if something is to happen, you would feel it comes from a moment of individual brilliance. But this game's still very much in the balance. Both teams still very much probing with every attack they have. But the Swans know the quality they have in their players on the field right now. And there is no doubt that if we are to win this game, it will require some brilliance from one of those players to do so.
Quite tentative still from both sides here. If there were to be a goal-scoring opportunity or a goal, I'd assume you'd see the game open up quite quickly.
The game was very open in the first half. The Swans peppered Beaconsfield Town with chances before breaking the deadlock on 35 minutes. But not quite the same openness today. Beaconsfield did have a chance there, but it's a foul given in favour of the Swans in midfield here. The referee saying there was a tug on a Swans player in midfield. Dominic Hogan now for the Swans on this left-hand side as the Swans look to build another attack. The ever lively Devon Tanton in that number 2 shirt from the Swans. The second American to play for Walton and Hersham. The first being Nick Burgess, who made his debut last month for the Swans. No Americans in our entire 77-78 year history, and 2 come along right at once. Jordan Adiemi driving now. Max Blackmore can't get a hold of it, but still in possession. Harry Mills now on the right-hand side. The Swans really need to be incisive with how they work this attack here. Much sharper passing needed, and Harry Mills wins a free kick on that far right-hand side.
And this right-hand side has been quite important for the Swans this game. You see that link-up play between Harry Mills and Devon Tanton quite often in that first half, and it seems to be replicated in the second half as well, with the assistant sub of Alex Kelly coming from the midfield.
And this is Devon Tanton's second ever start in men's football, his first coming on Saturday in the reverse fixture of this. Harry Mills back from unavailability after a 2-week break. He's in for his first game, and no doubt those fresh legs could begin to tell as the game goes on here and legs begin to grow tired in both sides. It's a ball in, cut out, and it is kept in by Raven Constable, is it? No, it's given as a goal kick in the end. I don't know how quite that was a goal kick there, but the linesman seems to have seen something that he believes it came off a Swans player. Linesman getting a bit of stick from the Swans players there. Pumped long, and it's a very long ball indeed. Joe Hicks sticks the leg out to impede the ball's path.
Strong challenge there from Devon Tanton, given as a free kick.
Another dangerous position if Beaconsfield Town can get a good ball in. They are committing quite a few bodies forward for this one. A lot of bodies forward, actually. It was a quick free kick that the referee doesn't seem to have liked too much. I'm not sure quite for what reason.
Short ball pulled back to the mark.
There are 7 men in around the box for Beaconsfield Town. It's a teasing ball in, but Joe Hicks is up well to climb and head that away. And Beaconsfield Town have a corner, much to the ire of Torin Roberts and Harry Mills, who believe that Beaconsfield Town got the last touch on that. And the umpteenth set piece for Beaconsfield Town, after just about 60 minutes gone here at Holloway's Park. Another ball in, but it doesn't quite find any Beaconsfield Town players, and Harry Mills flicks it on. I think we could perhaps look to see a Swan sub or two come on within the next 5-10 minutes. I think there are certainly a few players on that bench that would offer something different. It's a ball in, cleared by Charlie Nicholas.
Yeah, I think slightly later in the second half we'll probably see Ollie Twum making an appearance here as we look to get some fresh legs down the wing.
Certainly Ollie Twum. I think we might look to see Arsene Oikei come on. That midfield general presence that he has, a very physical and strong player. Perhaps Torin Roberts might make way.
Been a few throw-ins quite high up the pitch, so we might see Joe Pratley-Jones come on with that cannonball of a throw that he has.
We could see that, but I think the Swans need something more, certainly in the midfield and attacking areas, something that gives the Beaconsfield Town defence a different proposition, and Ollie Twum certainly offers that. His powerful drives into the box, so often winning penalties, his low centre of balance and agility. Dan Bradshaw, the number 10 there for Beaconsfield Town, once again committing another foul. He was sent off on Saturday, likewise with Alex Kelly, also playing today's game. His ban will also kick in from Friday or Saturday onwards. But for those who didn't see, he was actually pulled back. He was sent off for pulling back the referee. It was a hand on the referee's shoulder off the ball. And obviously, as you know, in this game, you cannot touch the referee under any circumstance. And he was rightfully sent off, you would imagine. Both sides starting to look a bit leggy now. That short turnaround certainly visible in the ranks of both teams here.
Quick interception there by John Gilbert. And the Swans come down bombing. Ooh.
Police car racing down the M40 slip road behind us. Seems there's some action going on in Beaconsfield away from here tonight. Game really bereft of any cutting quality thus far. Flicked on ball, Liam Allen will come out to gather. It's a press and Swans will need to be aware of that. Liam Allen back with the ball. Charlie Nicholas does well to weave in and out and find Dominic Ogan.
Stays calm and composed.
Max Blackmore dropping into a deeper role there. He hasn't had a huge deal of service today, Max, and we know he's a striker that really thrives on getting chances in and around the box. He's not one of those players that really generates a huge amount by himself, but when a chance does fall to him in the box, he is absolutely clinical.
With the ball into Jordan Adeyemi. Jordan looking to beat his man.
And he goes down, and the referee says he got the ball. He says it's like a corner.
Corner for the Swans.
I don't know what the referee has seen there, because Jordan was hacked down after knocking the ball past him. Swans players are surrounding the referee, but Beaconsfield Town get away with that because that looked, at first glance, a stonewall penalty.
Here comes Torin Roberts on the edge of the box, looking to... unable to materialise.
This game sprung to life all of a sudden.
As we said, it can be one series of chances or one goal-scoring opportunity that can bring this game to life, and that seems to be what has happened here in the second half.
And I think the potential presence of Ollie Twum could certainly change things here. Max Blackmore fires a shot from outside the box, but it rolls wide of Constable's right-hand post there. Another chance for the Swans, and all of a sudden this game looking a lot more lively, Stefan.
Yeah. I think now we're really starting to feel the presence of these 200-odd fans coming to life as well, as they feed off the increased intensity in the second half.
I think Beaconsfield Town can consider themselves very lucky to have not been on the receiving end of a penalty call there.
Devon reads the ball well.
We'll obviously have to look at the replay, but from our angle, that did look like an absolute stonewall penalty. There was no real attempt to get the ball. The referee says he won the ball and gave a corner instead, but Jordan Adiemi was very clearly tripped up and his path impeded, but no penalty given. Few people warming up on the bench for the Swans. Don't think it's too long before we see the presence of Arsene Oikei and Ollie Twom now. There are subs. Harry Mills is coming off the pitch here.
Torren Roberts
and Torren
also.
Roberts as well. Both of those players. It is Arsene Oikei, number 12, and Ollie Twom, number 7. Ollie Twom, not number 7, number 15. So Harry Mills makes way despite his perhaps fresher set of legs. But I think you could also invert that and look at it as he hasn't played for 2.5 weeks or so. It's a chance for Beaconsfield Town. They can't quite get the ball down. The danger hasn't passed yet. The Swans crowding the box with bodies to get the ball away. Back in, won by Arsene Oikei. The Swans win and will look to counter here. Dominic Ogun with the ball.
And that's
on
that
the right-hand
physicality
side
of Dom Ogun that we talked about earlier, Tej.
Another chance. Minas now for Beaconsfield Town. And a shot that flies high and wide of the Swans goal there. This game looking a lot more lively now. We've seen the first 2 substitutions come on. Ollie Twom is certainly going to offer something different for those Beaconsfield Town defenders to think about down that right-hand flank for the Swans here. A very dangerous presence when he gets in and around that box. We know how many penalties he has generated for the Swans over the past season since he signed in December of 2021.
I believe in his debut he actually earned 3 corners, was it? 2 or 3 penalties, was it?
Yeah, it was Nap Hill away on the 28th of December 2021, if memory serves me correctly. The Swans won 6-0. It was a hat-trick of Harry Mills penalties, and Ollie Twom himself got on the score sheet, but I think Ollie Twom won at least 2 of those that day.
Yeah. Tricky player to deal with down that right-hand side.
I think a Beaconsfield Town player is about to go into the book here. And it is their number 8.
Sean Fraser.
Number 8, Sean Fraser, who is going into the book. The first booking of the game. There could have been a booking earlier in the game for Jordan Adiemi, but it is the first one here for Beaconsfield Town. A bit more bite we can see in this game now as well.
This one's really coming to life here. Alex Kelly opting for the slower build-up of play here.
Coming up to the 70-minute mark shortly. This hasn't been the game of highest quality yet, but we may see a moment of brilliance from a player on either side that could potentially settle this game. Tanton, yeah. It's a loose ball that floats harmlessly out of play at the back post there. A real test now as we head into the final stage of this game, with both teams having played 90 minutes just 2 days ago. Max Blackmore still running though, forcing a throw in on the far side. I have mentioned about our kit in the first half, Stefan, but one thing that a lot of people don't know is our YouTube channel, and that we film every single game home and away this season with commentary like we are doing right now, and we have full highlights packages with pre and post-match interviews for every single game on our YouTube channel this season. So if you don't want to miss out with all the Swans content and all our highlights packages, make sure to be subscribed to our YouTube channel. That's Walton and Hersham FC, Walton ampersand Hersham FC on our on YouTube. And more content to come there as well, aside from those highlights packages. Foul in Beaconsfield territory for the Swans. Alex Kelly goes down. The old Swans physio, Michael Owen, is on the bench for us today, ready to spring into action when needed. He was with us till February of this year before he joined Wealdstone in the National League, but our main physio, Tiffany Whedon, unavailable tonight due to short notice, and Michael rather kindly stepping in place of Tiff tonight for us.
Good to know he still thinks fondly of the club, Tej.
He does. He was down at our game on Saturday as well.
Lovely chat with him.
A very lively character always. Enjoying life in the National League now as Wealdstone's lead physio.
However, he did remark that his greatest moment to date on job was still that away equaliser in the final minute against Jersey.
I think that will be the greatest Swans moment for a long time to come. We have had some very good moments. I think it's a single moment of football as opposed to an overall footballing achievement. I think that will be very, very hard to beat. That 4-4 draw at the absolute death in Jersey, the first ever team to get a league point in Jersey. Cut out by the Swans, but straight back into Beaconsfield possession. There's an overlap here, but Joe Hicks is across well and he shepherds the ball out for a goal kick. Beaconsfield defender screaming from the back to stop the Swans building out from the back. Another foul on Alex Kelly.
Lost count at this point.
I think that's about the 6th or 7th time that he's been fouled today. As I said earlier, very nimble and agile player that is so hard to keep track of, so hard to mark, and most midfielders find they're really chasing a shadow for 90 minutes. Surprising to not see a card given though for not the first, not the second, not the third, probably about the 7th or 8th foul on Alex Kelly this evening. It's ball forward by
Ollie Twom.
Charlie Nicholas in search of Ollie Twom. Dominic Hogan has it here. This is a good chance for the Swans. It goes to the back post but misses Blackmore and sails out for a throw-in. It was a chance for the Swans there. Dominic Hogan had quite a lot of time on his side to pick a good ball in, and he floated one towards the back post, but it just missed the reach of Max Blackmore, and it's out for a throw-in.
Swans looking to box Beaconsfield Town in. Building out from the back. Lots of space here for the Swans. Straight out to Devon Tanton on the right, who links up with John Gilbert.
So foul given in favour of Beaconsfield Town here. Both teams really starting to labour here, and you can feel it really in the air that this game is dragging. And although there are over 15 minutes left, I don't think either side will fancy another 30-minute period of extra time. I don't think our production team will fancy a 30-minute period of extra time either tonight. Skewed attempted clearance there, and it's a chance for Beaconsfield Town. Minyas cuts inside and goes down, but it's a foul given in favour of Walton and Hersham here. Minyas went flying in there. He appears to have injured himself.
Just overcommitted, ended up meeting the leg.
Yeah, I think he just got caught on a challenge there, but he was the one that went flying to the turf initially to generate the Walton and Hersham foul. The physio called on now for Beaconsfield.
As much as we appreciate Michael Owen being here today, hoping that he won't be necessary.
No,
he can just
well,
enjoy the game from the sidelines.
I do imagine, again, cramp could be setting in very soon. For those who haven't played football, I'm sure that everyone will know, playing 2 games of high intensity like this in the space of, well, just over about 52, 53 hours is quite an ask for a footballer of any rank, really. And the boys have done on both sides exceptionally well to be out here today. Normally the traditional replay day is the Tuesday. I'm not too sure why it was scheduled for the Monday, but we are here nonetheless. And just about 15 minutes to go before we drift towards extra time, but still a lot of time for a goal here and a potential winner for either side. I don't think we'll be seeing more than a goal if there is one though, Stefan.
Really is about who can go that extra leg now. Who can turn it up that extra notch in these last 15 minutes.
And who can generate that moment of quality, because as I said, this has been a game really bereft of any true quality and cutting edge. There have been a few half chances or even decent chances on either side, but nothing of real note apart from perhaps that penalty shout when Jordan Adeyemi went flying to the turf.
Ollie Twum seemingly swapping sides, swapping wings with Jordan Adeyemi.
Yeah, I think these are their more favoured sides now. Ollie Twum loves driving in from that left-hand side, and when Jordan can get onto his right foot, especially when he's bursting forward, he really can look to apply a finishing touch, which is not something that Ollie Twum has to the same degree as Jordan. Two different players in terms of their attributes playing on the wings. Jordan a much more direct, pacey striker winger. Ollie a tricky winger. And here he is now on the ball, the number 15, and he puts the ball in. It's a chance for the Swans, and it's a shot. It's blocked by the Beaconsfield Town defender. It was Max Blackmore's shot. It's another ball in. Jordan climbs to win it, but it's out for a throw-in for Beaconsfield Town. As I mentioned, a lot at stake here with both sides, well, either side in line to face Chatham Town at home next Saturday.
Here comes John Gilbert playing down Ollie Twum down the wing.
Here he is, Ollie Twum, so dangerous in these positions, and he has a shot, but a tame one in the end and straight into the arms of Raven Constable.
I think the one thing the players can be thankful for is the conditions that they're playing on. You can imagine playing 2 games at such short notice if they were to be playing on a less preferable turf, shall I say.
I dare say this is about the most ideal conditions you are able to get for a football match. At night, I think it's about 18, 19 degrees, maybe slightly cooler, but not a cloud in the sky overhead. It's pretty dark sky now. But good playing conditions for the boys today. Alex Kelly moving into Beaconsfield territory. Will there be a moment of quality? Devon Tanter puts the ball in. There's men arriving, and it floats just by. And there aren't any Swans players there anticipating that. It went just wide of both Max Blackmore and Arsene Oikei. And once again, an opening for the Swans, courtesy of a great cross from Devon Tanton. Beaconsfield will be looking to make a substitution now. It is.
Seems to be Aaron Minas off for number 14, Scott Donnelly for Beaconsfield Town.
Yeah,
and there is a second substitution by the looks of it.
So both the Minas brothers are coming off, Aaron Minas and Nathan Minas, and Scott Donnelly will be entering the action alongside
Jack McKenzie by the looks of it.
Jack McKenzie, is that 19 or 18? I couldn't quite see
tell.
that. But 2 subs nonetheless for Beaconsfield Town with around 10 minutes to play here. Scott Donnelly, the man who did score a hat-trick in Walton in the replay last season. A penalty and 2 strikes in injury time to put a dagger in Swans' hearts. 10 men Swans after a red card in the 65th minute.
Swans throw in here.
10 minutes to go, and a goal would almost certainly win the game for either side here. That's a definite handball there from Beaconsfield Town, from their number 11, Carl Reid.
Devon Tanton on the set piece here.
It will be the American who swings the ball in here. And it's a testing ball, and it's flicked on by Arsene Oikei. And it's palmed over the bar by Raven Constable. A good chance for the Swans there.
He does brilliantly to get a hand on that.
An accurate ball in from Devin Tanton that found the head of Arsene Oikei, who flicked it goal bound. It was towards the centre of the goal, and Raven Constable on hand to tip that one over the bar. Whipped in by John Gilbert now.
Corner taken.
And a goal kick given.
Joe Hicks unable to get
any
full
meaningful contacts on that. Yeah, more a slight flick on that.
Heading into the final 10 minutes of the game here. I assume a good 3, 4, maybe even 5 minutes of added time.
Number 5, Mark Nesbitt, playing it forward for the Rams. Ollie Twom doing well to get his head in and win the ball. John Gilbert battling as hard as ever, but it's a loose ball there and a sloppy one that's picked up by Beaconsfield Town, and they have a bit of space down the left-hand side to work something here. Staying in possession, and they can look to perhaps float a ball in here. Carl Reid gets a ball in. It's towards the back post over the head of Dan Bradshaw there, and sails out for a goal kick. A real flat game, this, Stefan.
Yeah. But as we said, the tension is in the air, and you can feel that there is a lot at stake for both teams here.
You could cut through the tension in the air with a knife here. It is that palpable. A ball through to Jordan Adiemi, flicked on. Arsene Oikei playing in a slightly more advanced role here. I'm not sure if that was quite the instructions from manager Scott Harris to him. But he is certainly more of a physical presence in the faces of those Beaconsfield Town defenders. And he's certainly a presence in the box that can be felt as well, winning that header from the Devin Tanton free kick just a few moments ago. Charlie Nicholas with a lot of time and space to pick something out, and Devin Tanton making a run forwards. Both sides very leggy, as you can see. Beaconsfield Town unable to stop the Swans playing balls out from the back. John Gilbert driving forward here. This is a chance, and he shoots.
Good hands by Raven Constable there, able to keep a hold of it, and he plays it out from the back here.
Raven Constable being a very safe pair of hands today. Perhaps not his best performance by his standards on Saturday, but he's certainly been back to his best today. Beaconsfield have it on the left now, and a chance to work something, and it's a good ball in. It's a teasing one. And it drifts behind the Swans' goal off the side netting, and it will be a goal kick. Well, the game has been quite flat, but I'll tell you what it doesn't need is another half an hour of this. Ball over to Max Blackmore, who does get goal side. Ollie Twom now for the Swans.
Arsene in the middle, plays it back to John Gilbert. John Gilbert could strike from range here.
One moment of brilliance is all it will take. Swans knocking now. But a loose ball from Alex Kelly evades the feet of Ollie Twom. And Beaconsfield Town have it just by their corner flag on the near side. Around 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And yet again, I can't imagine there will be a huge deal of stoppage time to be played here at Holloway's Park.
That was the one instance where the Beaconsfield Town physio had to be called, but yeah, can't imagine it will be more than 3 or 4 minutes.
I think it was Aaron Minyas, the captain, who went down and was consequently subbed off. But as you say, Stefan, I don't think there'll be more than 2 minutes of added time here. Not a huge amount of time left to make it count in this 90-minute period. It's another loose ball from the Swans that's picked up by Beaconsfield Town. And another loose ball by Beaconsfield Town.
Here comes Devin Tanton down the right wing. Plays it back. John Gilbert unable to play through Jordan Adeyemi.
The Rams physio being ushered onto the pitch yet again. It looks to be cramp from the Beaconsfield number 2, Jerome Eccleston. And I do sympathise with him. 180 minutes of football in this short period of time is a test for any footballer for sure. No doubt Scott Harris and Billy Rowley will be preparing for extra time for the Swans. There hasn't been much in the way of quality in the 87 or so minutes gone, and you can't imagine there will be much to come in the remaining 3 plus added time. Credit to the fans who have turned out in their numbers tonight for this game. Around 250 of them who, as it stands, will be hanging around for at least a further half an hour. The Swans with another big cup clash this weekend. Home to Leatherheads this time in the FA Trophy first qualifying round. Leatherhead, who we did play 7 days ago in the Isthmian South Central in the league. 2-0 win at Fetcham Grove. 2 moments of brilliance really from Torin Roberts and John Gilbert to settle the game in favour of Walton. But an extra time period here would not benefit the Swans ahead of Saturday. John Gilbert plays the ball through, cut out and launched forward. A handball by Carl Reid there. The Rams 11. Swans free kick, and it's played out from the back.
Looks like a booking here.
Appears to be another booking here. It looks to be Scott Donnelly, the
Number 14.
substitute for Beaconsfield, who will be going into the book.
Jerome Eccleston ushered back onto the pitch.
2 of Beaconsfield Town's midfielders both on bookings now, Sean Fraser and Scott Donnelly.
As the Swans look to once again play out the back as they usually do.
The clock running down here with not a huge amount of time to go at Holloway's Park.
Also plays back to Max Blackmore.
Blackmore was held there. The referee not interested in the Swans' protest. Devon Tanton with a ball through to Max Blackmore, but it's a loosely controlled one from Max, but he's back in possession here.
Devon Tanton does well to intercept there. Max Blackmore with the possession for the Swans.
The Swans look absolutely knackered out there, and I do feel for them, as I said, but not long to go before they have to endure another 30 minutes. Tanton puts a ball in. Pinball in the box here. Clear to Beaconsfield Town can break. Swans have men committed forward. The linesman says it's not offside. It is offside now. The flag has gone up. He waited to raise his flag. He did look to have gone a touch too early there, the Beaconsfield Town winger. But the Swans were quite overcommitted there. I think they sensed a chance, and they had both full-backs forward. It was only the centre-backs that were back. Dominic Ogan was herring back as well. But fortunately for the Swans, the Beaconsfield man did not hold his run and was flagged for offside. So we hit the 90-minute mark now. Charlie Nicholas with a long ball in search of Arsene Oikar, but it drifts over his head and picked up by Constable. I think on balance this has been quite an even game, Stefan, but really no chances of true quality for either side. As the clock ticks away and we drift towards a period of unenviable extra time really for those players.
Swans pushing up the pitch.
4 minutes of added time signalled by the fourth official there.
John Gilbert playing out to Ollie Twom, who will probably look to beat his man here. Does so. Unable to.
Into the side netting from Ollie Twom. A lot of Swans fans to our left here of this main stand where the camera position is. I think maybe about 40 Swans fans or so, maybe slightly more, maybe slightly less, but around that mark have made the trip up to Beaconsfield Town tonight.
Monday night isn't too bad, considering
for a
we just
Monday
played
night on
Saturday.
2 days' notice. I think that's a very good turnout by all accounts.
Goes out for a Swans throw in here.
I don't think both sides will be content to put themselves to a period of extra time, but it looks to be inevitable now unless either side can find a moment of quality. So, tackle on John
Swans
Gilbert
looking to
and Ollie
create
Twom
a chance.
playing the ball. Attempted into the path of John Gilbert, but they weren't on the same wavelength there, and it's out for a goal kick. I don't think this is a period of extra time that either side was really looking forward to, and contrary to the 8 Swans games prior to today, this remains goalless in the 90th minute. 8 Swans games prior to today, 7 of them have had 4 or more goals, and that's been the theme before today. Lots and lots of goals. It's a lovely ball through to Ollie Twom. This could be a chance for the Swans. Adeyemi's in there. Ollie goes for the lob, and it's clawed off the line. A chance, and another brilliant save from Raven Constable in the net. The best chance coming in the dying embers of the game here. An attempted lob from Ollie Twom, clawed out of the goal mouth by Raven Constable, and the follow-up from Max Blackmore, I believe it was met with a strong pair of hands from Raven Constable, and Beaconsfield Town remain level. A very necessary foul to make there from Joe Hicks, just to stifle the Beaconsfield Town counter-attack. I think he will avoid booking for that as well. The Beaconsfield Town physio once again on the pitch. And unless something can come of this set piece here, we are heading to extra time. Joe Hicks is going into the book here for the Swans.
As you said, necessary in these moments in the game.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of times you see when players take yellow cards that are simply unnecessary and wasteful, really. But I think if you look at it as using your yellow cards in the right way, I think Joe Hicks certainly did that there.
You can't gamble in a situation like that. Otherwise, you'll end up in a situation like we did last week, or on Saturday rather.
But no doubt we are into the final moments of the game here. Beaconsfield Town will look to launch it into the box. Could this be their moment here? It's towards the far post, and it's flicked on.
Goal kick by
for
the
a
looks
goal
of it.
kick. And this should be the final play of the game here. The referee with his whistle to his lips.
And we are
And that
off to
wraps
extra
up
time.
A very dour 90 minutes at Holloway's Park, and we head for 30 more minutes. And if those 90 minutes are anything to go by, Stefan, we are not in for a treat here.
Yeah, it makes you wonder whether they'll be able to keep up the pace that was sort of set in those last 15, 20 minutes. They were looking fatigued, they were looking exhausted, however.
Well, we have got Thomas Bradbury, one of the other boys, coming over here, who is quite often on commentary, who wants to jump on the mic for a second. So we'll let a couple of the other boys give you their thoughts at the moment.
Yeah, look, full time 0-0. It's a bit of a tricky one at the moment. You know, we had some brilliant opportunities. I think you guys must have covered it. The penalty call over there. It was a clear pen. We were there, you know, by the edge of the goal, by the edge of the box, and I've never seen a clearer penalty. But look, we've got half an hour to get that winner. Do you guys fancy it on pens though? Do you fancy us?
I mean, look, I would honestly like to get this settled in. In extra time here. I do think the Swans have the players of the quality required to settle this here in extra time. When you look at players like John Gilbert, Max Blackmore, Jordan Adiemi, Ollie Tuam, who's an ever dangerous presence down that flank, the Swans certainly do have quality to put the game to bed, but both teams looking real leggy now, having played just over 48 hours ago, and it wouldn't surprise me if we drift over to penalties here.
Well, look, I think you have to say, compared to the first half, we've been so much better in the second half. We came out the races. We've had so many opportunities there. You know, towards the end, Ollie Tuam looked like a cross, but it nearly went in, and then the rebound, brilliant keeping, to be honest. But it's going to take something special to beat this keeper today for Beaconsfield.
Yeah, Swans looked like they came alive in that second half. I was saying to Tej during saw the early minutes of that second half. It makes you wonder what words Scott was throwing around the dressing room, you know. So hopefully giving them a nice pep talk right now, and hopefully we can come out for the next 30 minutes.
There we go. I'll leave you lads to it, and hopefully we're happy at the end of the game.
Well, hopefully, Bradbury.
Cheers,
hopefully.
Brads. But as I said, if that 90 minutes was anything to go by, we are in for 30 more minutes of true pain here. I think that's the fairest way I could put it, as both teams go through their respective team talks now. Both sets of players looking absolutely spent out there.
I think we still see Beaconsfield Town's number 2, Jerome Eccleston, still on the floor getting some physio treatment. Obviously earlier in that second half he did go off for a minute or two. As it looked like a cramp from where we're sitting, but
And
obviously hard to tell.
Yeah, I'm sure the production team, Tom and Jack at Your Instant Replay, are also not too happy about heading to an extra time period here. The fantastic work that the guys at Your Instant Replay do with us this season, filming every single one of our games home and away. So credit to them for sticking with us for every game, and I'm sure they will be also hoping that there will be some moments of quality to settle this in extra time.
And it looks like not long now until extra time kicks off.
Not long to go, and a few fans heading for the exits already, whether because of the flat performance we've seen or whether they have work or other commitments to go to. I'm sure they can tune into the live stream as they head home. It's another substitution here for Beaconsfield Town.
As we said, Jerome Eccleston seemed to be having some sort of issue with that right leg of his, so he'll be coming off for number 14, I believe.
I don't think it was 14 because Scott Donnelly is already on the pitch. It's number 15, Sean McCauley. And I believe, if my knowledge of the FA Cup serves me correctly, that in extra time we are able to use a fourth substitution. And I'm sure it's something that Scott Harris and Billy Rowley will be aware of. That fourth substitution granted two teams in all FA Cup periods of extra time. Bit of trivia for you, Stefan. Who was the first ever fourth substitution in the FA Cup?
I can't say I know the answer to that, Tej, and I think you knew I didn't know the answer to that one as well.
It was
Who was it?
It was Kelechi Iheanacho for Leicester City about three or 4 years ago, I believe. And they introduced it from the third round onwards when the rule was implemented. And a rule that has been welcomed by all sides, I'm sure.
Saw you warming up your FA Cup trivia before the game.
Yeah, they only just came to head right there, Stefan, but yeah, an interesting fact nonetheless. A few of our fans seem to reckon that this could go the distance as well, all the way to penalties. But it's a ball through to Max Blackmore, who could get through here, and it's a lob over the keeper. But Liam McDevitt, it was, the number 4 for Beaconsfield, who got back to clear the ball to safety before it could become of any real threat there. It was a goal-bound effort, but not one that really came too close.
Joe Hicks doing well to read the play there. Ball still in the air though.
If you are just joining us on the stream, we are into extra time. A couple of minutes into the extra time period now. The 90-minute period ended 0-0 after a pretty flat 90-minute period. Both sides looking quite leggy, having played another full 90 minutes just a couple of days ago. And we will have to go through an entire 30-minute period at the very least to settle a winner from this tie. Swans in their blue away kit, kicking from right to left in this first half period of extra time.
And this just makes that last-minute equaliser from Beaconsfield on Saturday that much more bit devastating.
Jordan Adeyemi has it on this far right-hand side here. And he balloons the ball high and wide. It's just about picked up by Ollie Tuam, who does his best to keep it in. It's with Dominic Ogan now, driving forward.
Max does well to put his body behind the ball.
John Gilbert can have a shot, it's deflected and it rolls wide for a corner. Swans will no doubt be sending their big men forward for this. John Gilbert over to take, Joe Hicks, Max Blackmore, Charlie Nicholas. All in the box, Arsene Oikai as well. Dom Ogan and Devon Tanton are back for the Swans. It's a ball in from John Gilbert towards Joe Hicks. But it's won by Beaconsfield Town, picked up by Max Blackmore on this near side.
Jordan Adeyemi on the edge of the box here.
Arsene Oikai tries a dummy. The ball goes to Max Blackmore and he puts far too much on that, and that sails into the car park.
So the fatigue is becoming quite evident.
I think it was evident.
Yeah,
I think it was evident from the second half, to be honest, but it is really becoming clear now that both sides looking incredibly tired and leggy, and I would be very surprised to see something of true quality in this half, given, not this half, but this extra time period really, given how tired these players are, and we could be heading to penalties.
I'd be more likely to say that we'll probably end up seeing a goal just through lack of sort of cohesiveness, just due to the fatigue.
John Gilbert goes down, but no foul given. Max Blackmore driving forward here. His attempted ball to Arsene Oikai is cut out.
Obviously, when fatigued, loose balls will come much more often, and those might be the opportunities to capitalise from either team.
Well won by Arsene Oikai, that fresh pair of legs for the Swans, the number 12 in midfield on the ball there. Alex Kelly, who will be giving it his everything, missing out on the next 3 games. An attempted ball through to Jordan, but it doesn't have the direction on it, and it finds the keeper, Raven Constable, who is in no rush to get play going again here. To be honest with you, I don't blame him.
Alex Kelly, one of those players who, despite the circumstances and despite the 2 games in such quick succession, seems to still have his foot firmly on the accelerator.
Yeah, he's a real grafter, Alex Kelly, one of the liveliest presences in any step forward midfield. Such a gifted natural footballer he is. Continuing to give it 110% in this extra time period. No doubt a baptism of fire for Devon Tanton as well on his first 2 senior appearances. Here he is now on the ball, driving into the box. Carl Reid has it for Beaconsfield Town and wins a throw-in.
Joe Hicks rallying the Swans. Long ball upfield here. Joe Hicks reads it easily.
The colossal presence of Joe Hicks at the back for the Swans. I do think if the Swans get the ball in and around the box, or even Beaconsfield Town, it might just be worth a shot from range. Carl Reid, here he is, flashes one wide. So
Not
difficult.
Quite that brilliant, that moment of brilliance we were talking about.
No. And as I said, the Swans do, I'm sure, have players with higher individual quality in their ranks. There's another police car.
Devon Tanton with lots of space down here, down the right. Fantastic touch from the youngster.
Tanton puts a teasing ball in towards the back post. And the referee gives a goal kick. It was a brilliant ball in from Devon Tanton, who has been a very lively presence down this right-hand side for the Swans today. As I said, not the easiest of starts in senior football for him. 2 FA Cup games and a marathon, really. 3 hours of football, unable to separate the sides. I think taking all the injury time in the first game, by the end of this extra time period, it could potentially be up to about 4 hours of football between these two sides in the last 2 days. Some lightning and thunder cracking in the distance to our left-hand side, but behind Joe Allen's goal. No rain here. I think we're fortunate because from what I can see over there, the heavens could open very soon over here.
Arson cuts back, lost to Devon Tanton. He looks for Alex Kelly.
Going on the BBC forecast for Beaconsfield.
Max Blackmore here.
It's ball in, cut out and cleared.
Alex Kelly once again using
John Gilbert now. It's a foul in favour of Walton in a dangerous position here. As I was saying, looking at the BBC forecast now, there is a low chance of precipitation over the... Well, I'm not trying to say this is a weather forecast here. I still think it's probably more interesting than what's going on the field. But a low chance of rain, hopefully. So I think we are safe from any rainfall here.
Booking here.
It is another one in the book.
It is Beaconsfield Town. It is.
I think it's Dan. I think it's Dan Bradshaw. I think it's number 10, Dan Bradshaw, though I'm not too sure. It is indeed number 10.
Kelly looking to float the ball. Plays a short ball instead. Devon Tanton back to Alex Kelly. Plays it wide to Charlie Nicholas, who finds a great ball through to Dominic Hogan.
It's
into the safe hands of Raven Constable.
Not a great ball in there from the left, and once again those tired legs showing. I don't think either side really wants the agony and ecstasy that a penalty shootout, the lottery that a penalty shootout really is, but with the way proceedings have been going, this game is only heading in one direction. Ball down the line to Carl Reid, but he knocks it out of play. The Swans will have a throw in.
Dominic Hogan here, back to Charlie Nicholas. Lots of space here for John Gilbert down the right side. Opts for Devon Tanton, who then finds John Gilbert. John Gilbert cuts in.
Another loose ball, cut out at the back there. Attempted to find Ollie Twan, but he couldn't. Well controlled by Charlie Nicholas, and a nice exchange there in midfield.
Dominic Hogan now plays it into Max Blackmore, who will look to
Max
cut
Blackmore's
in
down the left here. He can look to get a ball in, and he does exactly that. And I think it cannoned off the post there. I couldn't quite see
And the Swans are alive here again. As Dominic Hogan cuts into the box.
Dominic Hogan
beats
with a
two
chance,
men.
but it's a little overcooked, and Raven Constable gets in. I didn't quite. Did you manage to see that, Stefan? There are a few bodies
I think
in the
that
way.
might have been a save, but it's hard to tell from this angle.
Anyhow, a very good chance for the Swans there. As time moves on and legs get ever more weary. Max Blackmore still pressing Charlie Nicholas up to win that, and Dominic Hogan in possession of the ball.
Just a few minutes left.
And even still, Stefan, even still, it could just be one moment of quality if there is one from either side to settle the game. It's a loose challenge. The Beaconsfield Town players not happy at Dominic Hogan's challenge there, I think it was.
Potentially going into the book here. Referee seems to let that one go.
Just a couple of minutes remaining in this half, in the first half of extra time. The score's still 0-0, goalless after well over 100 minutes. A ball floated towards the back post, and it sails over everyone's heads for a goal kick.
And it's going to be the Swans out the back again. Plays out left to Charlie Nicholas. Lovely run from Jordan Adeyemi here. Finds him through two men.
And Jordan is through here. This is a chance for the Swans. He has a shot, but it's well blocked by Oliver Sprague, the Beaconsfield Town number 3. It was
great ball there.
A long ball over the top, and from nothing, the Swans had a chance, but
it's a short
Jordan
corner again, looking to keep up that pace here. John Gilbert trying to work down the right.
Flashes it in, and it bounces just in front of the keeper and somehow stays out. The Swans with two very dangerous chances in quick succession. It was a ball fired in with some pace from John Gilbert from that right-hand side. Bounced around for a second and somehow ended up in the hands of Raven Constable, and you can't help feel, Stefan, that if the game goes the way it's going, that really there is no way either side is scoring.
I think there's been a few chances here for the Swans in the past 5-10 minutes. I think it's displaying the youth of the side, being able to recover slightly quicker, hit that second win slightly quicker, as we have Alex Kelly here commanding the midfield.
Drives forward and finds Ollie Twum, who drives into the box and goes down. And it's a dive in the referee's eyes. He might go into the book here, Ollie Twum. Something he does look to do in and around the box, Ollie Twum.
And it does look like it's going to be a booking.
And it didn't look like a huge amount of contact there, and Ollie Twum perhaps rightly into the book for simulation there. As I said, it is something Ollie Twum does look to do every time he gets in the box. You know, there's always the chance that he could go down, whether or not there is contact. In the past, he's gone down under contact and hasn't been awarded a penalty, and sometimes he goes down without contact and is given the penalty, and on that occasion it wasn't to be the latter, and he
it's that fine line that
does go into the book.
A player as tricky as him will often play along that line, and that is the first half of extra time called here by the referee.
I need a hot drink, Stefan. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure most of the people sitting in the stadium
Absolutely parched. So if anyone on the stream is listening and they happen to be at the game, I'm sat on the back left side of the stand. So if you could bring me a glass of water, that would be lovely. I think the game sort of came alive there in the last 5-10 minutes of, well 5 minutes rather. That first half of extra time. Series of chances from the Swans. Not much in terms of attacking prowess on Beaconsfield Town's side.
And as I said, if that 90 minutes was anything to go by, we were not in for a treat of any sort in this extra time period, and the first half has been yet again pretty flat and dour by all accounts.
I think this next 15 minutes obviously dictating whether we do end up heading to penalties, where it will be slightly more of a, like you said, described it as a lottery almost, right?
One of these Swans fans, James Foster, quite upbeat there as he walks past the stand here. He said it's coming. May we see a Swans goal in this final 15-minute period. 3 hours and 15 minutes gone.
Neither side wanting to leave it up to chance, looking to take the game into their own hands. Some of the best chances of the game, actually, and then dying minutes of that first half of the extra time. And we are seemingly about to come underway again as the players come back onto the pitch.
Well, if the football gods are listening, we would love a goal here for the Swans. I don't think any single fan in the stadium wants to go through the agony that a penalty shootout can be.
It is Max Blackmore who will be kicking off this final 15 minutes of football.
The Swans kicking from right to left for the second time this game.
Beaconsfield Town 0, Walton Hersham 0, heading into the final 15 minutes of football that we will be seeing tonight.
John Gilbert taking it straight to them and tries to play a pass to Ollie Twam, and he goes down here. It was a late challenge. Dan Bradshaw is already in the book, and really this should be a second yellow for him.
This could spell disaster for Beaconsfield Town. Let's see what Derek Lang chooses to do.
And he was sent off on Saturday, Dan Bradshaw, and it could be a second straight red for him.
Must be some sort of record. You're the FA trivia man, Sartej. Doesn't seem to opt for the second yellow here.
I don't know how he has got away with that. It was late, it was a pretty rash challenge, and Dan Bradshaw can consider himself very lucky to not to have got a second consecutive red card there. Perhaps the second time that Beaconsfield Town have got away with it there.
Yeah.
The first being that penalty decision in the first half, and now
Nevertheless,
number 10 escaping yet another red card.
Nevertheless, Devon Tanton looking to whip a ball
Oh, it's a
into
good
the back
ball in from
post here.
Tanton, but it just drifts over the head of Arsene Oikei. And we go on.
Already a very lively start to this final 15 minutes. I think both teams realising penalties looming if a goal isn't realised here. Raven Constable. This ball met by Devon Tanton in the air twice here.
It's a ball forward. Liam Allen will come out to get it, but it could have been a hairy moment, but he does well just to boot it well out of harm's way.
Olsen here applying some pressure after being
Scott Donnelly
dispossessed.
goes for it from range, but it's straight into the hands of Liam Allen. Not really a testing effort. He probably tried to loft it over him there. He saw Liam off his line, but it's not the shot
Dominic Hogan.
that he would have been looking for.
Dominic Hogan to John Gilbert, who opts to switch the play over to Devon Tanton.
Tanton with another ball in towards the back post. Arsene is there, and it's a flick on, and it is a corner. It did come off the Beaconsfield Town player. They're adamant it didn't touch him, but it's a corner nonetheless to the Swans.
Straight away you see Charlie Nicholas, John Hicks stepping up towards the box.
Joe Hicks, the captain, in there as well.
Sorry. Been a long game.
It has been a long game indeed. It's been a long 2 or 3 days as well. Headed out, and there's a collision in the box. It's a head injury, and play is stopped straight away. You did say John Hicks, Stefan. It is Joe Hicks, our skipper, but yeah, we are quite tired, even the commentary team.
Beaconsfield Town's physio not called on this time. got a fair few minutes herself this game.
I'm not sure how commentators do it when it goes for extra time, but I'm really in need of the toilet right now, Stefan.
I haven't had a single drink of water, so...
Another foul there on John Gilbert. Dan Bradshaw, yet again. Is there a count for the number of fouls that you can give away on a yellow and not get a second yellow? I think the referee has opted to be rather lenient here. Goodness knows how.
Ollie Twum preemptively creating space for himself down the left wing.
Ollie Twum, yeah, as you say, hugging that touchline. He's going to look to drive once again. He is on a booking, so he can't risk any simulation now. John Gilbert with a lovely flick there. And it's a handball by the Beaconsfield number 15. I think it touched his hand there, but the referee doesn't give it.
Charlie Nicholas picks up again, plays it out from the back, over to Dominic Hogan.
Already looking ahead to penalties, Stefan, and the Swans do not have their favoured Parry Pills on the pitch. Harry Mills' his name, but adored for his penalty goal scoring record. He's been named Parry Pills by our TikTok fandom. A nickname that stems from the meme that's been made of Cristiano Ronaldo being called Penaldo over the years for the number of penalties he's scored. 10 minutes to go here in this second extra time period.
Nothing made of that goal kick. As the Swans look to rebuild an attack here, Devon Tanton opting to switch the play to Dominic Hogan, who finds Ollie Twum, who once again, hugging that touchline, creates space for himself, looks to beat his man here.
And Ollie Twum's going to drive to the byline and gets the ball in. And it doesn't find any Swans players. Charlie Nicholas winning it. Arsene Oikei now. Devon Tanton opting to play it back to Alex Kelly. Dominic Hogan's free on the left here if he can be spotted. One moment of quality is all this game needs. It hasn't had one so far.
John Gilbert does brilliantly to track back here, applying pressure.
Carl Reed's storming that flank, and it's a brilliant chance. And it's fluffed by Oliver McCoy there. It was a brilliant chance for him, perhaps the best of the game. He was completely unmarked at the far post, and he fluffed his lines with the goal gaping at his mercy. A real let-off for the Swans there, because no doubt that would have settled the game.
Not long left now.
Attempted ball in by John Gilbert, blocked. And it's through to McCoy again. Oliver McCoy driving forward, the number 17, and he can look to get a ball in. One of the pairs of fresh legs for Beaconsfield Town here. Dom Hogan battling well there and forces a corner. This could be a good chance for Beaconsfield here. I think this is the first extra time period the Swans have endured in many years, Stefan. The game that we had that went to penalties against Guildford City went straight to penalties straight after that first lockdown. It's a ball in here, goes to the back post.
Hopefully not too many of them to come.
Well, if they're as like this, exhausting as this, I mean, you don't mind them if they're exciting and there's a fair bit of action, but this has been anything but exciting. 7 minutes to go here.
Derek Lang with a quick warning to Charlie Nicholas.
Another long throw in. Well, not quite a long throw, it's a foul given in favour of the Swans. Jerome Eccleston off the pitch now for Beaconsfield Town, their favoured long thrower. Swans do have some penalty takers on the pitch. John Gilbert, who has taken quite a lot in his career. Max Blackmore, who's taken in the past. Jordan Adiemi, who used to take for Guildford City. No Harry Mills, as I said. Lovely dummy there. And it's John Gilbert with a chance. And it's a brilliant chance! And it's in! Ollie Twum scores! And the Swans have the lead! The Swans fans going wild in the corner. The ball dropped to Ollie Twum, and the Swans look to have won it with 5 minutes on the clock.
You surely have to imagine that
Absolute carnage in the corner there.
You have to imagine that the Swans are holding on to this lead.
It was a brilliant run into the box from John Gilbert. The ball came across to Ollie Twum, and he made no mistake in front of goal to sweep home a finish. Finally, the deadlock has been broken in the 115th minute of the game. Beaconsfield Town 0, Walton and Hersham 1.
And with just 5 minutes to go, I know we spent the whole of the first half talking about one goal opening the game up, but you have to imagine with the stakes that are here up for grabs for both teams, you'd imagine they will really turn up the pace now, especially on the Beaconsfield Town end. It's going to be interesting to see how much fight they have left in them with all this fatigue.
Absolute carnage in the corner there. All the Swans fans rushing to celebrate with Ollie Twum. It has been a marathon, an absolute marathon of a cup tie here. And it looks to have been settled 5 minutes from time if the Swans can hold on. Beaconsfield Town, knackered, will now have to give it absolutely everything if they are to stay in. It's a foul there by Alex Kelly. And Beaconsfield Town will have no option but to throw the kitchen sink at the Swans. A lot of fans drifting for the exits here. And Stefan, James Foster did say it was coming.
He did say it was coming.
His prediction has come right.
Some may call him a prophet.
It's Joe Pratley-Jones now on for the Swans in place of Jordan Adiemi.
That's that fourth substitution we're talking about.
Yep, some more
Fresh
defensive reinforcements to bolster this Swans back line for the final, just over 3 minutes here.
Max Blackmore does well to clear it off the line here. Ollie Twum.
Here he is, the danger man. Ollie Twum, it's a shove in the back there.
And there is contact there, no simulation.
It was Adam Martin with a very blatant shove in the back of Ollie Twum there. The clock ticks away and the Swans are 3 minutes away from reaching the second qualifying round for the first time since 2009. But as we saw Stefan on Saturday, this is not over yet. The only thing that might give you confidence is how tired Beaconsfield Town are, but as we've seen previously, they are a fighting team. It's a lovely ball forward. Max Blackmore and Ollie Twum are in chase. Raven Constable just about clears.
Austin looking to regain possession here, and he does.
John Gilbert drives forward. This could be another chance for the Swans. He has Max Blackmore to his right, goes round him, puts the ball in. And it's a foul given to Beaconsfield. It was supposedly a foul given on John Gilbert. Look at that work rate from John Gilbert. Absolutely unbelievable.
Don wins the first ball here. Ollie Twum unable to maintain possession of the ball here, as Beaconsfield look to play around the back in order to switch sides here over to the left. It's been their preferred side. I think likely disencouraged by Dom Ogun's
It's
physicality.
a foul for Beaconsfield Town here. This could be last chance saloon coming up. But as we saw on Saturday, the game is not over until it's over. As cliche as it sounds, there may still be another final twist. It's a ball in, and it's a teasing one, and it was flicked just wide of Liam Allen's left-hand post there. A good opening for Beaconsfield Town, but they can't make anything of it, and there is not long remaining as the clock winds down here.
The Swans will really look to control the pace here. Final minutes of the game. Liam Allen with a long ball up front, trying to find Max Blackmore, unable to do so. Dom does well to box Beaconsfield Town in their own half.
Oh, and it's a testing ball forward, but it runs just out of play. And there are 25 seconds left of this half. Liam Allen can look to wind the clock down here, and this should be it.
Should be the final kick of the game.
What an absolute marathon this has been, Stefan. 3.5, nearly 4 hours of football in just 2 days. And we are seconds away from the Swans
Again,
making a
this
return.
time does meet Max Blackmore, and this could be one final attempt at simply securing that win, as the Swans up
just
to
need
play.
to keep it here. Do not give the ball away. We have possession. Make them run for it. Get to the corner flag if you can. It's a
Devon
throw in for the
Tanton.
Swans. Time to really run down the clock here. We're into added time. There can't be much of it to be played.
As more fans make their way towards the exits. You have to imagine the hopes.
No foul given, and Beaconsfield Town may have one last chance here. Well cut out by Dominic Hogan,
Dom with the
who
interception
should
here.
really be looking to head for the corner flag here.
And you have to imagine at this point in the game,
Arsene Oikei plays it to Ollie Tom. He
the
is
hopes
offside.
of Beaconsfield just keep getting lower and lower.
I don't know where this added time is coming from. Into the second minute of added time in this second half. Period of extra time here. Sent forward by Raven Constable. Surely it has to be full time soon. As we know, it's not over until it's over. Joe Hicks winning it well.
Here come the Swans, lots of space to work with here, as they say. Ollie Twum down the left side.
And Ollie Twum should look to just hold it here. Don't do anything silly. Keep it in the corner. And he does exactly that. And it's a clear foul, and the referee gives a free kick. I don't know if he's lost his watch or something, but I cannot understand how this is not full time yet.
Well, you can't imagine there's too much left.
Another look at his watch. He decides it's still not full time. It's a free kick to the Swans right in the corner here.
Swans opting to keep, rightfully so, a lot of men defensively, as the Swans look to hold this ball in the corner here. Arsene using his physicality.
Another foul, and Arsene Oikei will go into the book here. I mean, does the referee think we're playing another half an hour or what? Because I think he's lost the plot. 2.5 minutes into extra time here. I cannot conceivably understand how we are still playing here. Yellow card brandished in the direction of Arsene Oikei. Surely this will be the last play of the game.
Referee looks at his whistle. A stumble there from John Gilbert.
The referee looks at his watch, probably a broken one by this stage of the game. He opts again not to blow the whistle. It's a ball into the box, not cleared. Beaconsfield Town with a chance. It's Dan Bradshaw who picks it up. And it's full time! The Swans are through to the second qualifying round for the first time since 2009. It has been an absolutely battling marathon really from the Swans. And somehow they prevail at Holloway's Park, Stefan.
Grueling stuff there. Both sides giving it their all. Obviously, tough circumstances coming off such a quick turnaround. And they've both done extremely well to keep pushing and keep that work rate high all the way until the end.
Yeah, and that's one thing. The Swans did not give up until the end. They kept on knocking. It was a brilliant darting run through the defence from John Gilbert, and it fell into the path of Ollie Tuam, who made no mistake from close range to give the Swans a lead with just 5 minutes to play. The final score at Holloway's Park, Beaconsfield Town 0, Walton and Hersham 1. We are into the next round against Chatham Town on Saturday, the 17th of September. Thank you all for watching. The highlights will be up tomorrow, and we will see you all very, very soon.